Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Rising Gems podcast. In this show, we dive into the divine feminine perspective of spirituality, metaphysics, quantum physics, life, and even extraterrestrials. I am your host, Miroslava, the metaphysical chick, starseed and divine feminine mentor, Sirius high priestess, and multiverse ambassador.
I am your other host, Erica. I am a divine alchemist. I currently am a tarot reader and a Reiki master.
Yes, and in this episode, we'll be diving into sort of the general idea of what the divine feminine mission is. Then we'll be sharing perspectives to help you understand your solo divine feminine mission. This is what you are meant to do as an individual being on this planet. Additionally, we'll be giving you tools and practices that Erica and I have used throughout our very own Divine Feminine Glow Up journeys. So, if you're ready to dive in with us, to expand, to elevate, to rise like the beautiful gem that you are, then let's dive in. Erica, so we wanted to do this episode to share our perspective as to what the mission is, why we are here to embody the divine feminine energy, and what it is that you are meant to do specifically as a being within this planet, not with your twin flame, but as you, as an individual soul. There's a mission that you have with your person, and that's gonna come, it's gonna show up whenever you're both in divine union. And we talked about that in the previous episode, so go check it out. But with this episode, we wanted to focus on you. But Erica, if you want to kick this off and just share a little bit of your perspective of what you feel the general idea of the divine feminine mission is.
What I would say that the general theme of the divine feminine mission is pretty much bringing the feminine energy back, because for so many centuries, the feminine has been very oppressed and suppressed. And I cannot speak for every single woman or feminine energy, but I have been so into my masculine energy that I was actually having this conversation with you, Miroslava, how I excel so much in my masculine that I really had to do research. What is the feminine energy? Because I had no clue. So I feel like it's just bringing that softness back, bringing that unconditional love back, bringing the compassion, the kindness, the warmth, the welcoming, the motherhood, the patience, the nurturing back to the earth. And I feel like that's where a lot of the, whoever resonates with the divine feminine energy or the feminine energy, we are coming more into that and really embracing these qualities, these characteristics, and just balancing the earth, because it's been so imbalanced for so long. So I feel like that's pretty much my perspective on it, is just bringing the feminine energy more into balance with the masculine, because both are needed, both are so important. But I feel like the feminine energy has been lost, suppressed, not been as welcoming as the masculine energy has. But now we're starting to see that the feminine energy is so incredibly beautiful and so incredibly needed that that's what I feel like the main thing is. And then it goes into individual, which is a little bit different.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I really feel that this planet kind of was functioning more so in the masculine polarity. And it was very, like, everything was just so analytical. People, we grew up not really feeling, not really allowing ourselves to feel. And I feel that that's one of the things, the purpose of this divine feminine rise, the rise of the divine feminine energy, which is to kind of reconnect us back to our spirituality and to our heart, to really awaken this space. Because like you were saying, Erica, for the longest time, this energy was just suppressed or just oppressed by other beings, and I know that a lot of people probably don't really like saying this, like the patriarchy. We have to agree that there was like this patriarchy that did push the feminine energy aside, and it goes back to the church and to other groups and to other people with high influence. And so I really feel that the mission, the general theme of this divine feminine, is to return to wholeness through her own embodiment of this beautiful spiritual energy and the emotional body, to awaken the emotional body and to anchor those codes so that other people can be comfortable again with feeling and with with trusting and with seeing things, or with accepting things without having to see them. I don't know if that made sense, but it's like the masculine energy is very much about, and this is the distorted masculine energy. I'm not talking about the divine masculine, because that's just equally beautiful as the divine feminine energy. But like, we've been experiencing on this earth mostly the distortion that is the masculine energy, and that's what I'm going to be talking about probably throughout the episode. So it's very much like you have to see things in order to believe them. And I feel that the feminine energy allows us to connect with our intuition, with our heart, with our emotions, with our spirituality. And so we can close our eyes and we can still believe that something is real, or we can see beyond the physicality of things. We can tune into the spiritual realms in which it's all energy, and it's very much invisible to the human, but to the spirit it's very much real and very much seen. And so again, like Erika was saying, it's about anchoring those codes, anchoring this energy, coming back to the body as a whole complete human, because we're not rejecting the masculine energy. The divine feminine is equally, it's in harmony, it's in balance within her own energy, but she is mostly here as an anchor, or as a pillar of light that is mostly, anchoring those high vibrational divine feminine codes. So yeah, and Erica, now if you feel comfortable, I would like us to share a little bit about each of our missions, and then how we learned that this is what we were meant to do as human beings on this planet. And this is with the intention to hopefully inspire you, to maybe give you a little bit of validation, and to also maybe provide a few tools that you can use yourself to hopefully find your own purpose, your own mission, and to do what feels good to you, to your soul. So Erica,
What I've learned and what I have been shown just through where I'm at in this now moment is my mission is to do a lot of things behind the scenes. For a little bit of my life, I was very much out there. I put myself out there, and that was where I was meant to be at the time, to kind of get that experience in there. But I've had many different lifetimes of me achieving things, of me, going out there and doing things and being of service. And I'm still obviously doing things of service, but a lot of my service work is also behind the scenes, transmuting energy, raising my level of consciousness to pretty high levels. And that's, people can argue on why I'm saying that, but that's okay. But it's really to hold the frequency high of unconditional love, of understanding, of forgiveness, and continuing to see where the world is at, not attaching myself to it, but allowing myself to kind of hold this higher frequency while a lot of people are going through really hard times, or they're going through their spiritual journey, and they just, whether we understand this or not, because what I was going to is, they're just wanting someone that truly understands them. Because at the core of our being, something that I've also noticed is, at the end of it all, we just want someone that's going to love us unconditionally, that's not going to judge us, that's not going to be like, you should be doing this, or you should, like, there's always this feeling of like, we punish ourselves enough, right? For a good chunk of our lives, or even through the spiritual journey, when, we're punishing ourselves or we're blaming ourselves for things, and we have to move through that. Someone like myself, that it's kind of like, I either am there for people, and I like to be that comfort. And this is where like the divine feminine energy is like, part of my mission is to just comfort people, whether this is energetically across the grid, whether this is people in my surroundings, and just loving people unconditionally and not taking things personally, and just really understanding, because I've gone through a lot. And I know why people feel the way they feel. I know how hard it is. I know how difficult it is to have to change your whole identity or change a lot of the things that you thought that who you were was not you anymore, because you realize it was all a facade, because that's just how we were raised, or that's just how society kind of quote unquote shaped us, depending on how we grew up, where we grew up. But yeah, my mission is mostly to transmute, be more behind the scenes, be more neutral, not so much like having a foot in a lot of things, because I can see things in a much higher perspective with where I'm at, and just hold the vibrational frequency to higher levels. And that's pretty much what I feel. And obviously I do, when it comes to being in a relationship, one of my missions there is to more be the feminine, of course, but on an individual level, yeah, I'm definitely here to alchemize the collective energy, to transmute a lot and hold the high frequencies.
Yeah, and
Mostly.
it's so funny because even within our dynamic, you, Erica, are more so the feminine, and I'm more so the masculine energy within the Rising Gems. So
Yeah.
I think it's just beautifully, because that's just part of who you are. And I think it's also like, I really wanted you to share this because a lot of people have this idea that your mission or your purpose is going to be to do things, to like continuously engage with the world, and to be out there, be active, and be doing things physically. But there's some
Mhm.
people that, like Erica, that their mission is more so behind the scenes, or more so to, and a lot of people probably don't resonate with this, but there's people that were born to be mothers or to be fathers, to be
Mhm.
family people, and to have, to grow, and to, that's how they grow, and that's what fills up their soul, that's what feels
Yeah.
good to them. And that's beautiful. On my end, my side, I'm more so, I feel that I am here, that my purpose is to be sort of this motivational or empowering voice for people, especially star seeds, because I know I grew up being this alien in like this so foreign earth, and it was very difficult for me to learn how to be human, and to learn how to do all of this, even just basic human behavior like emotions, like understanding how that works was very difficult for me. And so I feel that in a way I'm here to, I experienced those things to share what I learned with people, and to help people kind of come back to the body, and to anchor all their cosmic amazingness, magic into the physical body, so that they can go on with their lives being happy, and not just kind of grieving this life that they had in other star systems. Because I feel that we're here to be human, and that's a beautiful thing. And so, yeah, I'm more so here to, yes, to share information, to share experiences. I see myself as a messenger of like multiversal perspectives. Like, I share a lot of different perspectives, there's a lot that's going on in my mind, and I say it all. So I'm just giving you little things here and there, and if anything resonates, then that's amazing. If it doesn't resonate, then definitely you don't have to listen to me. But I feel like that's what I'm here to do, kind of like a motivational speaker, to empower people. And it's all mostly to help like this beautiful collective of star seeds that just feel so maybe alone, or just they feel like the black sheep within their own families, because that's how I grew up feeling. And I also feel like very connected to like this high priestess lineage. So there's this powerful divine feminine energy also that I kind of feel like I was born into. And then it also connects back to like my lifetimes in Sirius. So it's all connected, but I feel like at the end of the day, the theme is to share, to be a messenger, and to also be a teacher. And this, Erica, this, that I had like this resistance towards calling myself a teacher, because I don't really see myself as a teacher. But I feel like that's kind of like what I'm here to do. So I'm kind of coming to, or yeah, just coming at peace with this aspect of me, and I'm learning how to embody and to be confident within this blueprint. And so, yeah, that's kind of like me. And I know it's a little bit different from Erica's, but that's the beauty of it, that you have your own blueprint, your own energy,
Yeah.
and you're here to do things that are unique to you, to your energy, and it's beautiful. You don't have to be out there like myself, sharing information, sharing yourself. You can be more so like Erica, be more in the behind the scenes, and you're holding space and energy for people, and maybe you want to have a family, and that's your purpose, because you're bringing in more star seeds and more light crystal babies into this world, and we need those anchors of light too. So yeah, I think that's beautiful. And the way that I learned how my mission, or like what my mission was, is just by the things that I experienced. So at this time, if you want to, just do a little bit of soul searching, what I recommend that you do is start asking questions, like go back in time. What are your passions? What is it that makes you feel excited? And to me, what makes me feel excited is to share my voice. And this is so wild because in the past, my throat chakra was completely blocked. I never said anything, I never asked questions. I was an extremely shy person. And I actually remember my dad, he said once to me, he was very drunk, and he said to me, I know you have a lot of questions. Start using your voice. He said that to me in Spanish. And that's something that always stuck with me in my mind, because that he knew something that I didn't know about myself back then. It's like he was looking into my
Mhm.
soul, and he was feeling that energy, and he was like, she needs to know this, even if he was completely drunk. But I feel that what those words really inspired me to work on myself, to get to a point in which I was confident enough to speak and to say what I feel, to express not only my emotions, but also just like all of this information that I download from the cloud, from source. And so yeah, so really tune into your passions and what makes you excited. And maybe you love music, maybe you heal through sound, you do sound healing, maybe you write songs, and that's how you assist people, because you bring in messages that are empowering and inspirational and healing through your music. Maybe you're an artist and you create beautiful portraits, beautiful pictures, maybe a photographer, that are infused with codes and energy, and people, by looking at those pictures, they feel uplifted by the energy. Maybe you love crystals like myself, and you do crystal jewelry, that you get in the zone and you channel these high frequency codes, and you infuse the crystals with that energy, and when people wear them, they feel uplifted, and they feel more in tune with even their own greatness, their own magic. Maybe you love to talk. That's it. You just love talking. Like my sister, she is a talker. And I always tell her, like, you need a podcast. You need to use your voice. People need to hear what you have to say, because she has a lot to say, but she's very, she doesn't trust the internet, because the internet can be very, very just evil, and just it breaks you down. So you have to prepare yourself to put yourself out there. And so I know that one day she will have her podcast, and she will be out there sharing her voice. But yeah, so if you just love to talk, that's a great way for you to start getting comfortable. Just have your podcast, share content on social media, and maybe it is what you have to say that inspires people, that uplifts them. And maybe anything else, Erica, that you can think of, that maybe if they feel that within themselves, that can be a sign that that's what they're meant to do in this life.
Where you feel like, if you want to
Mhm.
volunteer, wherever you feel drawn, I feel like the biggest thing is, if you were to ask yourself, what is the one thing that I feel I'm passionate about, I'm skilled at, and I love to do for others? It can be volunteering, it can be listening.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people don't, like, this is something that we all are having to learn, is to really listen, to really be able to listen to people. And I feel like we always have these belief systems, and this is something that I'm mentioning because this is a struggle
Mhm.
that I had to deal with on my path, is because I always felt that I had to put myself out there. I always felt like I had to do this and I had to do that, and I had to be like this person or this spiritual teacher, or I had like we have been trained to think things in such a practical way that even the littlest things of how you show up for your friends, how you show up for your family, how you show up for the elderly, how you want to be with children. Do you want to teach? Do you want to nurture? Do you want to be like Mother Teresa? Do you want to, just do what I feel guided to do, and just raise your level of consciousness to such a very high degree? Or do you love learning? Because there's something that we all have, and it's going to be something that not only you're passionate about, that can possibly even challenge you, because that's what you're meant to do. Because anything that's truly what we're here to do is going to challenge us in some kind of way.
Yeah, and this is again Reiki. I don't do it myself, but I've been to Reiki practitioners, and Erica has actually done a Reiki session for me, and it works. So I definitely recommend that you try this yourself. With yourself or with someone else that is certified with this. But again, you can check out the guide that Erica created for you. The link is going to be available in the description of this episode. So you can just go to the link, click, read a little bit about what the guides are, and you'll be able to access them there. And yeah, so thank you for sharing that, Erica. A few practices, or one practice that is totally easy, that has worked for me and it's completely free, is walks in nature. Like just being out, breathing fresh air, and also just soaking in the energy of the sun. To me, the energy of the sun is just so, it feels so good. Like, I don't know, there was a period of time in which I was just so in tune with the energy of the moon, and I was like, that's what felt good to me. But now, I don't know, the energy of the sun just feels so empowering and so uplifting, and it feels so warm too. So I definitely recommend that if you don't want to buy anything or like invest in yourself, definitely try just walks in nature. If you want to meditate outside under the sun, under a tree, definitely do that, and that's going to be very supporting and very healing for whenever you're going through the process of, again, like I said, soul searching or like inner child healing. And one practice that I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to be reading a little bit of what I wrote in the guide. Most women struggle with loving themselves, with accepting and embracing their bodies due to ancestral trauma, societal conditioning, and unrealistic beauty standards. Personally, I hated myself. I hated my body. I actually refused to look at myself in the mirror throughout my teens because I was so ashamed and embarrassed of my physical appearance. And because of all the rejection and the self-judgment, my inner child, little Miroslava, in a way, she hid in the catacombs of the underworlds. She was afraid to be seen because she believed what the adult version of herself said and thought and felt. So, in order to heal all the trauma that was cultivated in my emotional body due to my own doings, and I say this because I do feel that a lot of the times it is a choice, our choice, whether we choose to absorb what we hear, but it's very difficult to have boundaries, especially when we're little. So it takes a lot of work. But so in order to heal all of this trauma within my own emotional body and the physical body as well, I tried a practice which is mirror magic. And so I highly recommend that if you struggle with self-love, that you too incorporate this into your shadow work practices and journey. And so what is mirror magic? And now this is only my perspective. I know that a lot of people fear mirrors because it is said that they are portals to other dimensions. I do feel that they open portals to dimensions if you use them for that purpose. And I feel that, you have to be very intentional and very aware of what energy you are holding when you are approaching a mirror. But I do feel that they also open this beautiful dimension or portal into the inner dimension, which is our inner universe. So they give you access to what exists within yourself as well. And so if you choose to do this practice, again, like I said, go into it without fear of negative potentials. Go into it with the intention to see yourself fully. Now, mirror magic is a practical way for us to see beyond the outer layer. This practice allows us to dig deep through the eyes. The eyes, again, are the portal, the gates to the soul. A lot of people see them this way. And I feel that if you focus and are intentional with this magic, you'll be able to access aspects of yourself that remain hidden in the unconscious part of your psyche or your brain. If you want to dive into this practice, I do give you step-by-step instructions in the guide. I'm not gonna go over that here because it is very lengthy. And yeah, so definitely go check it out if you want to step into this practice. And yeah, I feel that there's so much that we can do, but definitely go with what feels right to you. So whatever Erica and I are sharing in those guides are simply tools that work for us, and you can definitely take those and maybe move things around, adjust them, make changes, and have them work for you. I feel it's very valid.